Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. My name is Ayush Kumar Singh. I am a legal intern in LEXIS and Company. So today we are going to discuss pharmaceutical legislation in India. Law intends for regulation and control of various aspects of life. These aspects might be social, economical or political. Pharmaceutical legislation is mixed legislation which overlapping covers both social as well as economical aspects. So the objective of this legislation is to ensure that the parties receiving drugs of required quantity tested and evaluated for safety as well as efficiency for their intended use. Pharmaceutical legislation is associated with the health of the society. So now let's see where this law has origin. In 1811, first chemist shop opened by Mr. Bhatgate, who came to India with East India Company in Kolkata. In 1910, they started manufacturing for spirits. In 1821, another firm, Smith Stain Steel and Co. started their shop and started manufacturing in 1918. In 1901, Bengal Chemical and Pharmaceutical workers, a small factory was set up in Calcutta by Acharya P.C. Rai. In 1903, Professor T.K. Garage opened small factory at Parel for the development of pharmaceutical unit and chemicals related to the pharmaceutical unit at Baroda. But these units were not sufficient to fulfill the need of the Indian public. Hence, most of the medicines which were imported from abroad, mainly UK, France and Germany. So in the First World War, the need was improved. Demand of indigenous drugs has also improved. Competition became unhealthy and Indian market flooded with inferior, unstandard or harmful drugs. After all these incidents, the Government of India in 1931 appointed a Drugs Inquiry Committee. This committee was the chairman of this committee was Lieutenant Colonel R.N. Chopra, also known as Chopra Committee. The committee was asked to make inquiry on the said matter and then to make recommendation for smooth control of manufacture, import, distribution and sale of drugs in the interest of public health. After the inquiry, recommendations were made by Drug Inquiry Committee. 90 recommendations were reported, which was submitted by the committee. Some of the important recommendations are: first, formation of a Central Pharmacy Council and State Pharmacy Council, which would look after the education and training of professionals. Council would maintain the register containing names and address of the registered pharmacists. Second one is creation of drugs control mechanism at the center and branches in the all states. Third, establishment of well-equipped central drug laboratories with complete staff and experts for the efficient and speedy working of a drug control department. Small laboratories would also work under its guidance. Now let's focus on drugs bill. Because of reluctant approach of the government towards the implementation of the recommendation made by the committee, public pressurized the government. Ultimately, in 1937, import of drugs bill was introduced in legislation assembly to control the import of drugs. However, the manufacture, sale and distribution of drugs was not included in the bill. The committee again forced the government to include all these aspects, and as a result, in 1940, the drug bill was again introduced in the assembly and this time passed. It came into focus as Drugs Act 1940. Later on, it was amended many times, and at present, the Act covers provisions related to drugs, cosmetics, Ayurvedic, Unani, and homeopathic medicines. The present Drugs and Cosmetic Act is an improved version of Drugs Act 1940. The objective of this act is to control import, manufacture, distribution and sale of drugs and cosmetics. Central government has made many rules for the same and presented it as Drugs and Cosmetic Rule 1945. This act and rule were amended from time to time. So, lastly, there are some other important acts like after independence in 1947, the other acts were also enacted as per the recommendation of the Drug Inquiry Committee, like Pharmaceutical Act 1948, the Drugs and Magic Recommend Act, Remedies Act in 1954, Medicine and Toilet Preparation Act 1955, and Rule 1956, Drug Price Control Order 1979, and changed at 1987, Narcotic Drugs and Structure Act 1985. So I hope you find the video informative. So please like, share, and subscribe.